Oh, okay, so I think this was as good a time as any to pop back into this. So what I've been doing, essentially been going through and grinding the Christ out of Blood Axe over there, in order to, well, basically get him all ground up and over-leveled and overstatted and everything, so that he can be Snapdragon into a thing for Steve. Now, so far what's been done, I went over to quest mode there, essentially had him. Well, he was already over-leveled to start with, so essentially you just had him go and solo a bunch of things. Essentially from there, he won 5 fights in a row, had to use a few orbs for that, just to kind of speed up the process, because it was taking forever, and sometimes they spawn in healers, and at that point it's a little bit of an annoying process, because they'll essentially just go around spamming heal plus over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Because basically they, as soon as they get to their second round, they pretty much get 5 uses of it in a row, and it's more than enough to outdo anything he did, so it took a little bit of resetting, but it got done. So got him Centurion, got him Blood Rain, and pretty soon he's going to get War God here. But what I was showing off is, over the course of this training, this is why you always want to use Knights for this kind of thing. Now, basically, she already has fist fight, so short bows are kind of your training go-to, more or less. Because they actually don't scale nearly as well as staves do. So sometimes you want to give somebody a staff, sometimes you want to give them a bow. But at any rate, they're even if they're over-leveled, they're still not going to be doing very much. But what's funny is she can consistently win an 8v1 just by sheer attrition. Like, even against other fellow over-leveled things, so, it's a little bit funny how this stuff ends up going. Just because, yeah, everybody else is just basically plinking off her, getting instant level-ups just from touching her. I mean, look at this. So, main goal of this was just to get everybody a few extra levels. I'm not going to end up doing the entire party, because they're pretty much set at this point. The whole idea was just to see how whether or not she could take on some of the better members of the group here. That poor one there with the glacier bow, by the way, she has been she's been sitting and trying to get a shot for about 2 hours. She's been repeatedly taking shots, not a single one has landed. But I think that's still level 3 or something. But yeah, no, they have no chance of hitting. I think it's like a 1% chance, or it might even be a 0% chance. But such is life. It seems like even in this situation, she's gonna end up winning just because she ends up out-healing anything they can do. Over-leveled or not. It's hilarious. But yeah, basically anything past 20 is just kind of... As long as you're within 10, you're pretty much just fine. That's a nice thing about scaling in this one. But, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and cancel that out here. He's almost to 50. Let's go ahead and set that to normal, and get him his War God. Yeah, Magic Missile is a guaranteed hit, so they're getting levels every time they do that. Man, there's so much easy cheese in this, it's amazing. Alright, there's what we do. I believe they actually have to have that 200 health in order to do it, so we're going to be using April. Take off all that. Basically, they're fine as they are. Now, this guy over here needs some kind of big ol' hefty weapon. Unfortunately, I don't have anything he can use properly, despite the fact that it says swords and, you know, swords and katanas. He doesn't do that, actually. What he uses are swords and, or, well, standard swords. So, we'll just say... whatever, we'll call them arming swords or whatever. And, that's about it. So use that in katanas and that's it. So 240. Can this be replaced with anything that'll give him any additional strength? Yes, another Earth Ring. So... Just go down, see if anything can improve his attack at all. Not really. Alright. But yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself over selling the Matsukaze at this point, since, well, that'd be very useful right now. But we're going to try 2 things. First off, We're gonna try with Vita, the poor thing that couldn't land a hit. Oh, what do you know? It actually came true. And we're gonna see if that overflow damage actually counts. So for one thing, we're gonna go ahead and set this to manual. There we go. Alright. There we go, let's put Blood Axe over here. Now that being said, you know, the Vita has had a couple of hits, although none of it's terribly original, frankly. It's a shame, there's so much potential that it had. I mean, it's mostly just like an indie dumpster, like I mentioned before. Which is cool, I mean, I like it for that. It's a little bit hard on the eyes sometimes, because, like, Darkest Dungeon, amazing to play on the go. Playing that at night, yeah, that hurts, I'm just gonna say. For any extended period of time, it will just plain hurt your eyes. Because they did what they could, but, you know, the UI can only do so much. Because there's a lot of stuff going on there. Holy sweet Jesus. There we go. Berserk. And War God. Alright, I think those both, hang on, let me double check here. Alright, so this doesn't matter. So, yeah, he needs Miracle, which, oddly enough, he has. But yeah, let's see, War Gods, so strength goes up even higher. Where's Berserk? Okay, so that's the whole biorhythm thing. I don't know how that system works whatsoever. Whatever. Okay, now for him to be a weapon. Now, I don't know if equipment factors in here, but we're gonna give him one of these things just in case. As well as one of these. And we'll see. Hopefully those don't end up getting sacrificed. Now, I'm sure the rule is more or less to wait till 50 to snap anything, but whatever. And there we go. They win. Okay. Now, Steve. I'm getting this Fire Crest back. There we go. Near maxed out defense for him anyway. And yeah. Look at this ridiculousness. So, Steve is now unstoppable. Basically just fixes everything. Now, I just want to point out, it's actually an axe, not a sword. As you can see, they're just holding it backwards. Steve is so metal at this point, he will just swing an axe backwards. He's gone ahead and sharpened up the handle of the thing in order to just kind of do things in the most metal way possible. Okay, moving on. Oh, you poor bastards. Yes. Whatever, plot. Now let's watch Steve solo this crap. We're gonna put everyone else here just to feel like they're gonna be useful. Amazing, because they were just amazingly overpowered a minute ago, and now it barely even matters that they're here. Because Steve is now a god. Oh, sucks for you. Now, everyone else is just gonna stand behind. If they're needed, they're needed. But Steve is gonna go and try and one-shot the boss here. Also, for Astoria, obviously, Commander Steve is gonna be heading the B team. He would be heading the A team, but unfortunately, Alphonse cannot be replaced. So, his plot importance dictates that he stay where he is. What's funny is if at any point Steve uses an orb, he can just win any map instantly. Because they got such a huge intelligence bonus from that they're gonna do like 200 to each unit on the map. So they can't be hit by anything, they're basically immune to almost all damage. Their defense is as high as a friggin' max level knight at this point. And it's hilarious because they still only do 50. All that effort, they still only do 50. But no, I'm thinking I'm gonna go get War God on him after this. That's kind of the last step to absolutely max out his potential. Alright, let's see what Gnome does. Nothing, 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 nothing. It doesn't even matter if his damage isn't maxed out, and I have my frickin' mouse on the... You know what? I'll set the settings to not capture the mouse next time, I apologize. That shouldn't be happening. I don't think we need to recruit anyone else, we have basically Steve and that's it. Steve is now head of the party. Alphonse is just the mascot. Oh, Heal Plus, that's adorable. No way they'll have an answer for that, like, oh, I don't know, friggin' killing them next round or anything. It actually might take 3 rounds, or 4 rounds rather. This is already the 3rd round. And this is kinda why they decided to balance out Snapdragons in the Deluxe Remake, but I don't know. Oh, guaranteed damage only does 13. So... basically less than 5% of their health? Why on earth you would go for them, I don't know. You have one that's basically doing summons and is gonna need those points, but sure. Funny, because this fight can actually be somewhat difficult sometimes. Well then. Touché. I suppose we can't hit your leader if she's hiding, huh? Probably could have waited till now to get Mark of the Elite. Another funny thing is that, what about... let's just do that. I'm just gonna have everyone move forward now, because I want to finish this up. What was I gonna say for another funny thing? I don't know. I was gonna say something. Something about the way damage scales or something. We'll just imagine something witty and or insightful happen there, and pretend that ever happens. You know, as it goes. As it goes. Yeah, I think we'll probably just go send Vita and Steve against each other, and that should be enough damage. And yeah, once you get a unit that's able to successfully out-damage Heal Plus, it's just over. There's literally no answer for that. Heal Plus is the only actual possible answer. Oh, you're gonna give that another shot, huh? Yeah, that's gonna hit. That's gonna definitely do it. And we're lagging again. Okay. Warp stab. Why are we lagging so hard, though? That should not be happening. Out of curiosity, what does this do? 40. It'll end up doing dang near nothing pretty soon here. But we'll deal with it at that point. The reason I'm saying it'll be doing dang near nothing is because it'll their intelligence is going to tank. It also doesn't scale particularly well, so that doesn't matter too much. Also, their intelligence is going to go like 30 points down from infinite. Yes, Richter's incompetent, or not Richter, but Nishart, there we go. I wouldn't say like Nifrit or something, but that's a different thing. Yeah, plot, 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 plot. Conspiracies, etc. I don't really understand how this plot was supposed to work out well for them, but whatever. Now. I forget why I have Olive here. Whatever. I think they were supposed to be doing a thing that I can't quite remember. But whatever. Funny thing about Steve here, by the way. Even if it doesn't do... even if it doesn't do nearly as much damage as it does in, like, Lance's hands or something, he still has a chance to insta-kill anything. Oh, jeez. Throat's going all friggin' sultry and low. Oh, by the way, if you're ever curious, yeah, you can't use other items, or buff items on enemies, so... Who knows why, but whatever. 420 damage, that's some pretty high damage. There we go, Berserk. And War God. Because that's something they needed. I'm just kind of curious to see how much that raised that same damage. Alright, so same exact conditions, more or less. Steve the Death Fairy. Steve the Reaper Fairy, that's what we'll call him. Now, I realize that we could get even higher damage by essentially having Vita sit on the river here, but we're not going to do that. Bear in mind, this is with the buff from self-preservation, but... Oh, that's beautiful. That is friggin' straight up beautiful. Alright. Let's save that, and move on, because this emulator is apparently gonna just die. Oh, Nishart, that is adorable. He thinks he's got a chance. Man, nobody told him what happened to the others. That's a shame. Already told him about the preposterous sharp turn all this took. Man, you're gonna be taken all the lightly. Actually, you're gonna be lightly remaining after the end of this. The others are mildly in danger. I mean, there's that. Nice 1% chance you got there. Just for the sake of showing what I mean here, by the way, let's just use this. See how much it's gonna do. Oh, that's surprisingly little, actually. Wonder why it's not scaling right. I mean, it still did some to some, but odd. Could have sworn that should have done like 200 to everybody. Still gypped. I'm gonna get my money back for that one. Got a defective orb. Right, so how this fight usually goes, by the way, you usually get like bogged down on this bridge, and then you're like here trying to prevent some people from crossing these two tiles, and you might have somebody blocking off this area, but meh. Who needs casualties? When you can just be ridiculously overpowered. I'd say this is the good kind of overpowered. Like, you over-level in the Luck remake, and you get to the point where they start getting equipment that's better than you, and that doesn't matter much in One Vision. I mean, in One Vision it's going to be roughly the same kind of dynamic anyway, you just kind of end up screwing yourself, but it's still possible. Yeah, base version, it's more like you just screw yourself outright and then there's no hope for recovery. Bit of a different story. But, eh. Yep, you go for it, Priest, you got this. So, if it's possible, I'm gonna get Atropos on Steve, like I mentioned before. High encoder CPU usage, but it was lagging without it anyway. I don't know why it's doing that. Who knows? I think my encoder's gone bust. However that even works. Oh, Nishart. Why did you make this mistake? Because there's no hope of recovery for you now. He does 80s against bosses. Armored bosses, for that matter. He does more damage than Alphonse. Actually might be possible for a second round win. Alright, whatever. We'll use Mosquito as a finisher if needed. There's a resurrection, I believe, on that priest, but it's not like we were able to use it this run. Why don't you go smack him one? So here we go. Nishart boss fight pretty much done with no actual damage to anyone. So that's possible. Almost like they really, really gave you some serious advantages with the free grinding options at this point. Like, it absolutely breaks down in a hilarious way. Oh, it's nice that you thought you had a chance there, Knight. Okay, scratch that. Alphonse took a few pokes. He almost cared. He's countering twice as hard. Nope. Oh, he actually hit. Amazing. I might consider going and getting a fucking Fire Crest for Alphonse. Nah, he's fine. He doesn't need it. We're overpowered enough as it is. Alright, here's what we're doing though. You're going over here, and you're setting this up for Steve to get a kill on this. Okay, so. He's got a severe debuff at this point, permanent 30 intelligence loss. Let's see how this scales. Still better than everybody else. That's how well it scales. Yep. Yeah, right, I'm sure you're not just completely just pissing off here because you have no chance whatsoever. It's hilarious. Yes, let's have sad scenes. I believe in this map there's another Snapdragon, but I don't really care. There's also another one in the ice map, and I believe one from multiplayer or something. I recall the fourth one being impossible to get. Who's ready for retarded kid logic? And then she accidentally becomes a murderer. Through a weird laser beam necklace. I'm gonna have to figure out later why exactly this is... There we go. I guess it was Steam. No, nope, it's not Steam. Alright, so she gives over her necklace. There's gonna be some plot coming up soon. Well, they find the spear tip, but rather than thinking, hey, we should go slap this on a stick and call it the spear, they just go ahead and try to make it they try to make a fake one later. Anyway, see you next time.